Death Note in the Hands of a Muslim. Chapter 1. Meet Ali Qasim.
Ali, hurry up and come to take your breakfast, sweetie. You are going to be late for school,
Yelled Ali's mom from the kitchen downstairs. In a minute, responded Ali from his bedroom. Ali had been awake for half an hour already, but he was still lying in bed. He was deep in thought, looking through the window glass at the blue sky outside. Daylight had now filled the room. He remembered himself 2 years ago when he was waking up every day much earlier than that, when the sky was still dark, to do the morning prayer. The morning prayer, or soba as Muslims call it, is the first of the 5 daily obligatory Islamic prayers. Its time is very early in the morning at dawn. Very few Muslims today manage to perform it on time because waking up that early is difficult. So the majority of them just do it whenever they wake up. Praying soba every day, especially in the masjid, is a sign of a Muslim's commitment to his faith and discipline in his daily life. It's like waking up at 4 a.m. every day for a disciplined non-Muslim. But what was bothering Ali in his thoughts was more than that. He was thinking about his discipline in general, how he lost it, and why did he let that happen to him. Even though he already knew the answer, he was just recalling how it happened and regretting that he didn't do anything about it for too long. 2 years ago, he never missed a single prayer in the masjid, even though it was half a kilometer from his home. He was a top student in his school, excelling in every exam and assignment. He was deeply interested in reading nonfiction books, committing to finish a book every 1 or 2 weeks. He also liked to exercise at least 3 times a week. He was very productive, mainly spending his time learning new useful skills every 2 or 3 months, such as touch typing, learning English and French, learning to recite the Quran, the holy book of the Muslims, and memorizing new chapters of it, etc. But as soon as he went to high school, all of this started to gradually disappear. He couldn't find the willpower to go to the masjid. He started praying at home, often very late. He lost his passion for reading and exercising. Little by little, his grades started declining. Although his teachers knew he was very smart from his participation in class, he simply wasn't willing to put any effort into his homework or exam preparation. He became overwhelmed by procrastination and laziness. How did it come to this? The answer was very clear in his mind. If he could put it in one word, it would be distraction. If you could put it in 3, they would be movies, series, and anime, especially the third one. Ali, come on, his mom called again. Okay, I'm coming. He got out of bed, feeling more determined than ever, and gave one last serious look at the blue sky outside his window. This would be the last time that he would see it blue when he opens his eyes again in the morning, he thought to himself. It was about time for him to stop contemplating about the past and to change back to the way he was before 2 years ago. It was time for him, as it is said in Islam, to walk in the straight path again. And this time, he was going to do it. He didn't have a choice anyway because the baccalaureate exam was at the end of the year and he had to be ready. He took his phone from his nightstand to check the time. It was 7:10 a.m., October 15th, 2014. Only 50 minutes left before the first school session began. He went to the bathroom to perform his ablutions, the washing before an Islamic prayer, then returned to his room to pray his late morning prayer. When he finished, he changed his clothes, packed his school bag, and went downstairs, where he found his mom and dad in the kitchen. His mother was a university teacher who taught sociology. She worked only 4 days a week, and today was her day off. His father was retired from work. He used to be a security guard for some regular company. Assalamu alaikum, Ali greeted them as he pulled out a chair to sit. Wa alaikum assalam, his mother replied. She was standing at the sink washing some dishes. Salam, his father said quickly, not even looking up. As usual, he was immersed in his newspaper, a small cup of black coffee in front of him barely touched. He's in the zone, Ali thought with amusement. I wish I could focus like that on my studies this year. His mom poured him some milk and handed him a plate of homemade cookies. Ah, wait! His father suddenly lifted his head from his zone of focus. Please, Ali, before you start eating, turn on the TV for me so I can watch the news. Please, Dad, not again, Ali sighed. You already have your newspaper. Come on, son, his father pleaded. I know you hate watching the news while eating, but this is yesterday's paper. Besides, I can't miss the morning news. Something important might have happened overnight or is just being broadcasted now. Ali didn't mind eating while watching the news. He just hated watching bad news while eating. News that could ruin your appetite and make your meal unenjoyable. Unfortunately, in the recent years, Algerian news had been full of them, especially about one particular subject. Obeying his father, he got up from his chair and turned on the TV. Then, using the remote control, he selected for him the news channel that he liked to watch. Then, reluctantly, he went back to his chair, hoping that his father's wish wouldn't be granted. But to his dismay, the moment he sat back down on his chair, like a genie summoned from a magical lamp, the journalist on the TV screen announced,
Breaking news.
Here we go, Ali murmured, disappointed. Shh! His father immediately interrupted him. He was all ears now with the TV.
Heartbreak and outrage have spread through the community of Bab el Wed, Algiers, as news breaks about the discovery of the body of 7-year-old Adam Sharifi, who had been missing for 5 days. Authorities have confirmed that the young victim was brutally killed, allegedly by the same mentally ill serial killer, Nasser Alali, who has already been linked to 3 other child murders before. An eyewitness reported seeing Nasser Alali at 4:35 a.m. stepping out of a gray car with a black plastic bag. He dropped the bag into a trash can, then quickly got back into his car and sped away. After recognizing the killer's face from TV, the witness decided to check the bag. To his horror, he discovered the mutilated body of young Adam Sharifi. He immediately called the police, who arrived shortly before dawn. Officials have urged residents to stay alert and report any suspicious activity as they intensify their search for the killer. However, they have not shared further details about their investigation, saying it is crucial to keep their efforts confidential. Stay tuned for updates as the story develops.
After that, the TV showed the parents of Adam Sharifi. His father was sitting as if paralyzed. His eyes, fixed on the ground, showed that he was lost in a deep thought, refusing to believe what had happened to his son. His mother was sobbing, clapping both her hands against her knees and repeatedly crying out the same heartbreaking words. "Give me back my child." It was very hard to watch. A large crowd from their family member and neighbors had gathered around them, sharing in their grief and sadness. Many of them were in tears, even some of the men. Then the screen showed a photo of Adam with his parents, taken before the tragedy. He looked so cute and innocent with his happy smile and surrounded by the love of his mother and father. After seeing Adam's innocent face, Ali slowly pushed his cup of milk away. He had completely lost his appetite now. "Poor kid," said Ali's mother, looking sadly at the picture of the boy on the TV screen. "This is the second time just this week. When will these serial killings of children finally end?" Once again, it was the same heartbreaking topic being broadcast on the news, the kidnapping and murder of children. It became like common regular news in Algeria. "It's never going to end," Ali's father replied, a hint of anger in his voice, "because this country still refuses to apply qisas." Qisas is an Arabic term meaning retaliation in kind. In simpler terms, it refers to the principle of an eye for an eye. Nowadays, especially in Algeria, when Muslims refer to qisas, they often mean the death penalty for murder, a death for a death. However, Algeria has suspended the death penalty since 1993 and remains under a moratorium. This means that while courts can still sentence people to death under Algerian law, these sentences are not carried out. Then, as Ali's father finally turned his head from the TV to take a sip of his black coffee, he noticed that his son still hadn't touched his breakfast, and his face was very gloomy. "Come on, Ali," he snapped. "Eat your breakfast and stop being so sensitive. This kind of thing happens every day, in every country, not just ours. There are criminals, murderers, serial killers, pedophiles, and so on everywhere in the world. There always have been, and there probably always will be for a very long time. That's just how life is, and you'd better start accepting it as our normal life. Yes, that's how life is, Dad, Ali replied without looking at him. But it can never be considered as normal.
Besides, the picture of Adam reminded him of someone very dear to his heart. He didn't know why, maybe because she was the same age as him, or because she had the same beautiful, innocent smile. Either way, the thought that what happened to Adam could ever happen to her made his stomach turn. He would never accept that. He would rather die than let something like that happen to her. Suddenly, someone jumped on his back, wrapping small arms around his neck to keep from falling. Ali turned around and his face instantly shifted from gloomy to overjoyed. It was his little sister, Yasmin, almost as if she had leapt straight from his thoughts into reality. She was giggling happily, dressed in her pink school uniform with a red backpack. As usual, she was ready for school before him. "Yasmin," their mother scolded gently, "how many times have I told you to stop doing that to your brother?" "No worries, Mom," Ali replied, smiling. Then he looked at his sister and let her sit on his lap. "So, I see you're very happy today." "Yeah, I have really good news. Look," she said, handing him a sheet of paper. "What's this?" he asked, taking it from her. He noticed a list of school subjects, and next to each one she had written a number. One number kept appearing again and again. 10. "It's her grades for the first semester," his mother explained with a smile. "Her teacher gave them to her yesterday. She didn't get the chance to show you because you came home very late from hanging out with Salim, and she was already asleep." In the Algerian primary schools, students are graded on a scale from 0 to 10, so a 10 is considered the highest score a student can achieve. "Wow, I see 10s everywhere," he said cheerfully. "Only 1 9 in art and 1 8 in sport. I'm very, very proud of you, Yasmin. I'm sure you'll be one of the top students in your class, if not the first." She grinned and blushed at his compliment. "She's trying to follow your example," his mother added, "or at least how you used to be when you were serious in your studies and a top student yourself," she said, a bit of disappointment in her voice. "Don't worry, Mom," he reassured her. "I'll stop messing around, this time for real. In fact, starting from tomorrow, I want you to wake me up early for the Sob prayer, you know, in case the alarm doesn't do the job." "Well, okay. The coming days will show me if you really mean it. I don't want to get my hopes too high and then be disappointed," his mom said. Still, he could tell that his new resolve made her a little happy because she hardly could hide her smile. He knew how much it means to her to see him disciplined in his religion and his life again. "I can wake you up," Yasmin offered excitedly. "I always wake up with Mom to pray with her in the morning. I can wake you too." "That's a good idea," her mom said, chuckling. "I'll use Yasmin as a last resort, just in case you don't want to get up. I'll let her jump on you while you're still asleep." Ali laughed. "Okay, why not?" he said. Then Yasmin slid off her brother's lap and turned to her mother with pleading eyes. "Please, Mom, can I wear it today?" she begged. "I'm really serious about this. Please." "Yasmin, we've been over this," her mother said patiently. "I told you to wait until you're old enough for it." "Old enough for what?" Ali asked, curious. "What are you two talking about?" His mother sighed. "She wants to start wearing a hijab." Ali's mouth dropped open in surprise. Even his father, who was absorbed in his newspaper again, suddenly looked up as if he'd just heard another breaking news. Hearing his daughter having good grades at school hadn't earned that reaction. "Hijab? Did I hear that right?" Ali said. "Wow, that's a second big surprise this morning. But you're still very young." "That's what I told her," his mother echoed. "A 7-year-old wanting to wear a hijab? That should be news of the year," Ali thought. He knew she regularly attended Quran classes and often watched Islamic videos on her mom's phone, but he never imagined it would lead to this. "I really admire how serious she is about her faith," her mother said. "But I worry. If she starts so young, maybe in a few years she'll take it off like we see some teenage girls do. And then what will people say about her? And about me?" "But I won't take it off, Mom. Please," Yasmin pleaded, now on the verge of tears. "You said those girls take it off because their parents forced them to wear it. But I want to wear it on my own. I really want this. I know I won't change my mind. Please, I promise I won't. Please." "Oh," Ali said sympathetically. Then he thought for a moment and he said, "Okay, let's make a deal, Yasmin," he said. "If you get good grades again in the second semester and become the top student in your class, just come to me and I'll be the one to buy you a beautiful hijab in the colors that you want. Also, Mom," he added, turning to her, "if she still wants to wear it after a whole semester, it'll prove she's really serious. And who knows? Maybe if she starts to wear it very young, she will become used to it and won't consider the idea of taking it off at all in the future. And it might save me the trouble of trying to convince her to wear it in the future," his father added, giving his wife a hopeful look. "3 against 1, that's not very fair," Ali's mother said. But he could see that she was smiling a little bit, which was a sign that she liked his idea. She stood quiet for a few seconds and then she gave a big sigh. "Fine, but only at the end of the second semester, after we see her grades." Yasmin's face lit up with joy. She threw her arms around her mother. Thank you so much, Mom." Her mother hugged her back. "You're welcome, sweetheart. What did I do to deserve such a kind and righteous girl?" Then she ran to Ali and hugged him tightly. "That's not enough," he teased. "You also have to kiss me right here." He pointed to his cheek. She giggled and kissed very fondly to show him that she was very grateful for convincing their mother. "All right, you two," their father said, glancing at the clock. "Isn't it time for school? It's already 7:35. "Yep, let's go, Yasmin," Ali said, and she took his hand.